to be cooking some farm fresh, organic fed, and free-range eggs, all thanks to my awesome coworker. Super excited. Hey guys, it is China from the CW Reads, and it is 9:45 on Monday. Let me just check the date real quick. It is the 16th of April, and I am participating in G from Book Grow's Owl's ReadAthon, and I thought I'd do a little check-in because I didn't really do that in my last vlog, which should be uploaded today on Monday. But yeah, I just wanted to check in with you guys what I've been reading. I got some coffee. I just made some breakfast, and yeah, so I have read 2 books so far. I read, hold on, let's go in my room and show you my book. Sorry, it's a little dark. It is raining outside, so I'm just opening my shades in my room. But yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain, which is good, especially for us California people. Let's see, where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go in the other room because the light's a little bit better. But so I've read Zenith, for my first OWL examination, which was astronomy, and it was to read a sci-fi. It's a really big book. It took me about 6 days, which was a lot faster than I thought it would. It was a really quick read because the writing wasn't too difficult to get through, and yeah, I ended up giving Zenith a 3 out of 5 stars, which I will explain further in a review that I will hopefully have up this week. But yeah, last night I finished Cloaked in Shadow by Ben Alderson. I read 2 books by booktubers during this readathon. Ben Alderson was from Benjamin of Tongs, and now he's just Ben Alderson. I read his book because I've had it since it came out in November, and I thought that would be the perfect book to read for Transfiguration because there is shifters in that book, and I thought it was okay. It wasn't anything too special or anything, and I liked Ben's writing more than I did Sasha's. Sasha co-wrote Zenith with Lindsay Cummings, who is the author of the Murder Complex series, which I haven't read. But I liked Ben Alderson's writing more because it was more descriptive. I felt like Zenith lacked a lot of description and world building, but we definitely got that in Cloaked in Shadow. But there are some things that did annoy me, so I did give it a 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah, this month I've been getting a lot of 3 out of 5 stars. I don't know, I might be in a little bit of a slump. I read, this wasn't part of the readathon, but I read the Prism series, I think, by Brent Weeks, and I listened to the audiobook for that, and it was like a 21-hour audiobook, and I read it to and from work whenever I had to go to work, and I gave that a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I liked the world, I liked the magic. It was just a little bit slow. The beginning was very descriptive, and yeah, not a whole lot happened until like midway through the book, and I really liked what happened towards the end, and I don't know if I'll continue on with that series, but yeah, that has nothing to do with the owls. I'm just explaining to you, I've been giving like a lot of 3s this month, when last month I gave a lot of 4 and 5, so it's interesting. Since I've finished Cloaked in Shadows, my main goal is to finish, which I did for Transfiguration. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but my main goal is to finish Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. This I am reading for Charms, which is to read a fantasy, and Neverwhere is an urban fantasy. And once again, I'm not really enjoying this book as much as I thought I would. I read American Gods by Neil Gaiman, and I didn't really enjoy that one either, so I might just not be into Neil Gaiman's writing style. There are certain aspects that I really do like about this book, but similar to The Black Prism, there is just not a lot happening. It's pretty slow paced for a relatively short book, but hopefully I can get through a good chunk of it today and hopefully finish it tomorrow, because I'm thinking about changing one of my prompts. I was going to read A Plague of Giants by Kevin Hearn for A Care of Magical Creatures, but I think I'm gonna read The Hazelwood for Ancient Ruins, because there's a bunch of symbols on the cover, and I'm kind of in the mood for like a dark fantasy. But A Plague of Giants is a huge book, and I definitely don't think I'll be able to finish that. So hopefully once I finish this, I can read The Hazelwood. It is pouring right now, but I'll show you in a little bit in another video. But yeah, so that is the plan for today. After I eat breakfast, I'll probably be watching Supernatural. I don't know if there's a new episode this week. If not, I'll watch Bloodline, which is a show I am like obsessed over right now. It's a Netflix original. It's got Kyle Chandler from Friday Night Lights and Linda Cardinelli from ER. If you guys have watched those shows, Sissy Spacek, it plays the mom, and it's just a really good show. Great acting, great writing, and I'm liking it way more than I thought I would. But yeah, so after that, I might do I'll finish editing my Zenith vlog and post that today. So there will be a video on my channel uploaded today, hopefully, and then I might do some writing, just depending on if I'm in the mood to write. I don't know. If I don't write, I'll probably just read. Probably take a shower, and because I have work at 3 today, so I have some time to kill so I can do some things this morning. But yeah, that is the plan. So I will catch you all later, and I will show you this rain because it's crazy. It's kind of hard to tell, but it is pouring rain. It is actually really pretty. I love the rainy season. I don't like being out in the rain, so hopefully it'll stop when I have to go to work, but it is just beautiful, especially on this iPhone camera. That is our giant tree that we have in our backyard, which makes it really pretty. And we have this rose bush, and like in the spring, obviously it blooms, but I feel like it blooms like different colors every time. Like now it's pink, and before it's definitely been red, and there's some yellow in there too. So I don't know if there's like different seeds in there that make it grow different colors, but that bush was there before we moved in. But yeah, it's just super pretty. Really makes me want to read The Hazelwood, because I feel like that's a pretty atmospheric book. But yeah, gotta finish Neverwhere. Hey guys, so it is a little bit later. It is around 12 o'clock on Monday, and last time I updated you, I was just about to eat breakfast, and I ended up watching Supernatural because there was a new episode, and it was actually really good. I really am liking this season. And yeah, if you guys watch Supernatural, let me know what you think of it this season. If you're all caught up, let me know what you thought of the last episode, because they brought back an old character who had a very devastating end, and it was kind of a shock to Supernatural fans, but it was great to see her back. So let me know what you thought of that. As far as writing, I don't think I'm going to get any writing done today because I have a few hours before I have to leave for work. And also yesterday I was looking at my iPad screen for a really long time because I was reading on my Kindle, and I really wanted to get Cloaked in Shadow finished yesterday, which I did. But I really don't feel like looking at a computer screen right now. Well, my iPad screen. My computer's not working for some reason right now, which I really need to get fixed. But yeah, so I think with the last couple of hours that I have before I leave for work, I'm going to read Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I'm about a little bit less than halfway through. I'm on page 172, and as I was saying earlier, I'm liking the world, and I really like our main character, what's his name, Richard, but there's just something about Neil Gaiman's writing that I'm not connecting with, and I don't know what it is. There are elements of it that I do like. For instance, there are two characters in the story who are our villains, essentially, and they are really interesting to read from. They're very dark and creepy, which is very interesting, but yeah, there's just something about his writing style that I'm just not connecting with, and that's how I felt with American Gods. I liked the story, I liked some of the characters, not a whole lot of them, and I liked the mythology element of that book, but like the writing, I guess I just didn't really connect with. But yeah, we'll see how the end of this goes. I want to get a good chunk of it done today so that I can hopefully finish it by tomorrow, so then I can start my fourth book. I don't know if I'll be able to finish all 5 prompts, but I will definitely, or all 5 classes that I chose for the ReadAthon, but I will definitely try and get as much as I can. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing until I leave for work, and I might not update you later today because I close tonight, so I won't be getting home till like 10:40-ish. So yeah, I will probably update you tomorrow, and good, happy reading. Hey guys, so I'm just checking in. The last time I checked you in was yesterday. It was around like 12 or so. I ended up reading a bit of Neverwhere. Before, when I updated you last, I was about like a little bit before halfway through the book. And now I am a little bit past halfway through the book. I got up to page... I got it to page 211 and I'm on chapter 10 right now, and it is actually starting to pick up for me. As I mentioned earlier, I wasn't feeling it all that much, but now there are things happening. London above and London below kind of like intermix, and it's just been really interesting. I don't want to like spoil anything for those who haven't read it, but yeah, we are finally like getting to the meat of the story, and it is picking up for me, and I am liking it a lot more than I am the first half of the book. But yeah, I just filmed a video, which is why I have makeup on, and for the rest of the day, I have the day off of work. I really need to get some writing done because I didn't yesterday, but hopefully I will be doing that today because I really need to, mostly to get my portfolio ready and everything for grad schools, and yeah, so I will be doing that. And then I don't know what else I will do. I think I'll probably read later, but after I write. Sorry, there's like a cat outside my house, and we don't have any cats, but this one just loves to walk in our house. I'll show you. The cat is gone now, but we get like random cats in our backyard all the time, and I'm pretty sure most of them are strays, but yeah, I wasn't able to show you in a video, but it kind of distracted me. But yeah, so after I write, I will probably read, and that's probably all I have planned today for my off day. But I also, this morning, I watched Bloodline because I don't have any Monday shows to worry about. And it was really good. I'm like just loving this series so much, and I will probably talk about it in a future video because that's how much I love it, and I want other people to watch it because I don't know how many people have watched it. But it's just really great acting and amazing writing, and I think that's why I'm really liking it. It's not the typical show that I'm usually into, but just all the aspects together is just making it a really good show. And yeah, so I watched that, and then I worked out after and filmed my video, and yeah, the rest of the day probably just writing and reading. So I will probably check in with you guys a little bit later. Bye. It is a little bit later. It is 3:46 p.m. and I haven't done any reading since I last updated you, and that's because I was writing my book. I am writing a book for a grad school portfolio because I really want to get into a creative writing program, and yes, right now I'm just like writing it all out, and then once I reach my word count goal for the month, which is 25,000 words, I will edit it and see what needs to be done before I put it into my portfolio for the applications. So I reached the 10,000 goal or word count today, which is really exciting because I spent a few days not writing, and obviously there are some things that I want to change about it, but right now I just want to like get to my monthly word count, and once I do that, I will edit what I have now. And yeah, so that is what I've been doing. I am gonna read in a little bit, but I just wanted to update you guys before my parents get home. And I'm gonna finish watching this YouTube vlog from JD Reads, I think that's her. Yeah, JD Ray Reads. I just followed her like last month because I saw her in G's quarterly book club, and she sounded really cool, and I just decided to follow her booktube. So I'm gonna watch a few of those videos, and then I will probably read for the rest of the night. The only thing I have to watch tonight is The Flash, but I usually like to watch those the day after they air, because then I don't have to sit and watch commercials and I can just fast forward through them. But yeah, those are my plans for the rest of the day. Probably won't update you or check in with you until Thursday, because tomorrow I have work, and I also have a doctor's appointment in the morning, and yeah, I won't really have time to update you. But hopefully I will get a good chunk of this done, because I really want to get it done by either tomorrow, the earliest, which I think I can, because it's a pretty quick read. I read quite a bit last night, or not last night, but yesterday, and I think if I just sit down and read for a couple of hours, I can get a lot done today. And other than that, that's all I have to say right now. So I will see you guys later. Hey guys, so it is a little bit later. It is around 11 a.m. on Thursday, and I just finished Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I'm really happy that I finished this book. I feel like it took me way longer than I thought it would. And I still don't know what I'm gonna rate it, because as I was saying earlier, it took me a while to get into, and it's not a very big book, but the beginning was a bit slow, and I think that's just Neil Gaiman's writing style, because I read American Gods by him, and I kind of felt the same way about that book. I did like Neverwhere better than American Gods, and there were certain characters that I really enjoyed. Well, I guess not really enjoyed, but I liked reading from their perspective. They were really dark and gruesome and very interesting to read from. I did like our main character, and there are a few other side characters that I liked as well. But like I said, it just started off a bit slow, and I was kind of disappointed in the end. I felt like it was a little bit longer than it needed to be. Like, there was a certain part in this book where I thought it could have ended, but then it kind of continued on, and yeah, I just wasn't a huge fan of the end. So I'm gonna wait and mull it over before I actually give it my final rating. It might be like a 3.75, because it did get better towards the end, and there are a lot of aspects of it that I did like, but just the start of it was kind of too slow. But yeah, so that completes my O.W.L's examinations for Charms. This is an urban fantasy, and the prompt for Charms was to read a fantasy, so I read Neverwhere. My next book that I want to read is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This is the Owl Crate exclusive cover, so it's green instead of black, but I was going to read A Plague of Giants for Care of Magical Creatures, but I don't think I'll be able to finish that on time, because Neverwhere did take me a bit longer than I expected to, and this is like not too long, and the font looks like a typical like YA font, so I don't think it'll take me too long to get through, and there's not that much time left of the ReadAthon, so I want to try and get a 4th book done and possibly start my 5th book, which is the Dream Thieves. We'll see if I actually finish that book, but yeah, so this is the next book on my list, and I'm going to be reading this for Ancient Ruins, because that was to read a book with symbols on the cover, and there are a lot of symbols on this cover, and this is like a fairy tale story. Our main character's grandma used to write these fairy tales, and she kind of gets sucked into them when her mother goes missing, which sounds really interesting. I'm kind of now in the mood for a dark fantasy after reading Neverwhere, so hopefully that fits the bill. I probably won't read any more before I have to go to work. I have work at 1, so I'll probably leave here around 12. So I might edit a video that I want to post tomorrow and do some outlining. I had mentioned before that I was writing something, and I made it to the 10,000 word mark, but I didn't really like the direction I was going in, and there are just things that I didn't like about the story. I liked my characters and everything, but like there's just something like that I wasn't really connecting with, and I think it's because I was trying to write in a multiple perspective point of view, and that was really hard to do. So I think I'm going to change it up a bit and like re-outline my storyline. I want to keep the basic plot because I really like my plot that I have for this story, but I kind of just want to change the direction I am going with the characters and stuff. So yeah, I might do some outlining before I have to leave, but probably won't read until I get home from work. I don't have too long of a shift. I have like a 5.5 hour shift, so I'll get home probably around 7, and I might read before bed, but I am kind of burnt out from reading right now because I was trying to finish Neverwhere. But yeah, so that is all I wanted to say, and I will, this is kind of my closing out for this part of the vlog. I will do a third part, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.